Cybersecurity for the people, Professor Black Ops. We'll talk about zero-day attack. As you can see from the article on the screen, DHS orders agency to urgently patch or disconnect Exchange servers. Exchange servers are one of the most popular Microsoft servers for email. DHS, of course, is Department of Homeland Security. So let's get at it. Department of Homeland Security Cybersecurity Unit has ordered a federal agency to urgently update or disconnect Microsoft Exchange on-premises products on their network. So you know it's a big time when they say you need to update or actually disconnect a piece of software. The Cybersecurity Infrastructure Security Agency, CISA, issued Emergency Directive 2102 Wednesday after Microsoft patched 4 zero-day Exchange bugs and emergency out-of-band security updates and shared info on an active exploitation in the wild. So they have 4 zero-day Exchange bugs. Zero-day Exchange bugs basically is a virus or malware that does not register on any of the virus protection software. Zero-day means there's no pattern for it. It's probably going to actually get or affect what it wants to affect. Successfully exploitation of these vulnerabilities allows an attacker to access on-premises Exchange servers, enabling them to gain persistent system access and control of the enterprise network. CISA strongly recommends federal agencies to examine their network to detect malicious activities related to zero-day attacks targeting Exchange servers. If no indication of compromise have been found, agency must immediately apply the Microsoft patch for Microsoft Exchange servers and proceed to Action 5, CISA added. Agencies that identify indication of compromise should immediately disconnect the Exchange on-prem servers and await guidance from before rebuilding from a trusted source utilizing the latest version of the product available. The CISO asked that the agencies to immediately report incidents if any of the following criteria are met. Indication of indicators of compromise is outlined in CISA activity alert. We're going to actually look at that alert. Persistence of a web shellcode on compromised Microsoft Exchange on-prem service. An unauthorized access to or use of an account. Evidence of lateral movement by malicious actors with access to compromised systems. Other indicator of an unauthorized access or compromise. Other indicators related to the issues to be shared by the CISA and activity alert. Earlier this week, Microsoft and multiple cybersecurity agent firms disclosed an ongoing attack coordinated by several Chinese-backed hacking groups. The attack targets U.S. organizations from multiple industry sectors and are attempting to exploit internet exposed or on-premise Exchange service to steal sensitive information. The Slavic internet security firm IXIC identified 3 state-sponsored threatened actors: the Chinese-backed APT-27, the Bronze Butler, aka the Tick, and Calypso. The company added that it's also detected several other APT groups it wasn't able to identify. APT is persistent threats, right? Groups that are attacking the United States. Microsoft identified a 4th Chinese-backed group named Hamam, observed while attacking U.S. orgs on premise Exchange servers. So Microsoft's security team, which we found out from one of my other videos, made $10 billion last year, have great monitoring tools. So it was actually actively watching Chinese companies attack United States companies. Active exploitation of these Microsoft Exchange zero days began as early as January 6 of 2021. As incident response firm Vocal revealed, Microsoft urged administrators to install these updates immediately to defend vulnerability exchanges from the ongoing attacks. So let's actually look at the Department of Homeland Security Directive. Of course, I will have all the links in the description box. So as you can see on the screen, this was the Emergency Directive 21-02. We'll jump around because the other article highlighted. So let's just hit the main points. Mitigate Microsoft Exchange on-premise product vulnerabilities. The page contains friendly versions of the CISA Emergency Directive, Section 3553 of Title I, the U.S. Code authorized Security of Homeland Security in response to a known, reasonable, suspected information security threat, vulnerability, or incident that represents a substantial threat to the information security of an agency, to issue an emergency directive to the head of agencies to take lawful action with the respective operation. So those sections are laws that gives the Department of Homeland Security directive to make those directives and recommendations. The CISA partners have observed active exploitation of vulnerability in Microsoft Exchange on-prem products. Neither the vulnerability nor the identified exploit activities currently known to affect Microsoft 365 or Azure Cloud deployment. Successful exploitation of these vulnerabilities allows the attacker to access on-prem Exchange servers, enable them to gain persistent system access and control to the enterprise. Right, so we're going to jump down. Currently, the vulnerabilities related to this known exploit activities include CVEs 2021, 2865, 26857. So those are the list of vulnerabilities. Once again, I have those links. And those vulnerabilities actually show you how to attack and exploit Exchange server to gain control. So these are the required actions that the Department of Homeland Security are recommending. After identifying all instances of on-prem Microsoft Exchange in the environment, agencies that have expertise shall forensically triage artifacts using collection tools. The CISA activity alerts, for example, to collect system memory, system web logs, Windows event logs, and all registry hives. Agencies shall then examine the artifacts for indication of compromise, anomalous behavior such as credential dumping and other activities as described in the activity alert. If there is anomalous behavior or indicator of compromise detected, proceed to action 2. Have the agency that have expertise to take the following steps immediately must do so before proceeding to action 3. The agency shall examine the artifacts collected in the step for indication of compromise, anomalous behavior such as credential dumping, lateral movement, persistent mechanisms, and other follow-up exploitation of the agency without the expertise shall proceed to action 3. So I'm not, once again, this is going to be in the description. I'm not going to read every other action. Most agency does not have forensic expertise on staff. That expertise is highly expensive and a very high quality knowledge. And once again, this is actually a nation state. This is not a kiddie script. This is not mafia. This is actually a nation state. So what I would actually recommend if you're a federal agency to bring somebody on staff to handle that for you. Agency have identified indication of compromise in action 1 and do not have expertise to conduct action 1 or shall proceed to action 4. So let's jump to action 4. Immediately report as an incident to CISA the existence of any of the following indicators of compromise: persistent web shell of compromise on Microsoft Exchange, unauthorized access to or use of accounts, evidence of lateral movement by malicious actors with access to compromised systems, other indicators of unauthorized access or compromise, other indicators shall be related to issues of the CISA by the activity alert. So once again, these three will be actually in the description box. You can read the detailed activities and indications you should use to do that. Once again, this is coming from Department of Homeland Security. It's a priority 1 to shut down Exchange if you do not have the expertise on site. Once again, cybersecurity for the people. Professor Black Ops, please subscribe. Have a great Friday.